12 Shocking Scandals in U.S. History. History isn't just made of triumphs and heroes. Sometimes, it's shaped by shocking scandals that rock the very foundation of nations, and more so when it is the United States. In today's video, we're diving deep into 12 of the most shocking scandals in U.S. history, events that forever changed the political, social, and moral fabric of the U.S. 1. The Salem Witch Trials. Our journey begins in the 17th century, Salem, Massachusetts. In 1692, mass hysteria gripped the colony as accusations of witchcraft spiraled out of control. What began as a few frightened girls pointing fingers turned into the execution of 20 people and the imprisonment of many more. This tragic event shook the foundations of American justice, as innocent lives were destroyed in the name of superstition and fear. 2. The Burr-Hamilton Duel. Next, we fast forward to 1804, when a bitter rivalry turned deadly. Vice President Aaron Burr and former Treasury Secretary Alexander Hamilton faced off in a duel, a dangerous tradition for resolving political disputes in the early days of America. The result? Hamilton was fatally shot. Burr's political career never recovered, and the nation was left reeling from the consequences of this reckless act. 3. The Trail of Tears. In the 1830s, President Andrew Jackson's policy of forced relocation led to one of the darkest chapters in U.S. history, the Trail of Tears. Thousands of Native Americans were driven from their ancestral lands and forced to march across the country. Thousands died from disease, exposure, and hunger, as the U.S. government ignored their rights in the name of expansion. 4. The Credit Mobilier Scandal. By the 1870s, corruption had seeped into the heart of America's expanding infrastructure. The Credit Mobilier scandal exposed bribery at the highest levels, where railroad executives overcharged the government to build the Transcontinental Railroad and bribed Congress to cover it up. This scandal revealed the deep roots of corruption in the U.S. government. 5. The Teapot Dome Scandal. Fast forward to the 1920s, during President Warren G. Harding's administration, when a scandal involving oil reserves, bribery, and national security rocked the nation. The Teapot Dome scandal involved government officials leasing federal oil fields to private companies in exchange for bribes. It was one of the largest political scandals of the time and severely damaged the public's trust in the government. 6. The Bonus Army Incident. In 1932, a protest turned tragic as thousands of World War I veterans, known as the Bonus Army, marched on Washington, D.C., demanding early payment of promised bonuses. The government's response? Using the military to disperse the veterans. The violent clash left veterans injured and caused national outrage. 7. Japanese internment camps. During World War II, fear and prejudice led to one of the most unjust actions in U.S. history. Over 120,000 Japanese Americans were forcibly relocated and placed in internment camps after Japan's attack on Pearl Harbor. Despite their loyalty to America, they were treated as enemies simply because of their ethnicity. 8. The McCarthy Red Scare. During the 1950s, fear of communism swept across America, and Senator Joseph McCarthy exploited that fear. His campaign of accusing thousands of Americans, especially in Hollywood, of being communist sympathizers ruined careers and destroyed lives. The Red Scare eventually led to McCarthy's downfall, but not before countless people were falsely accused and blacklisted. 9. The Pentagon Papers. Fast forward to 1971, when the Pentagon Papers, a top-secret government report, were leaked to the press. The documents revealed that successive administrations had misled the public about the true nature of the Vietnam War. The leak not only sparked national outrage but also led to a massive debate about government transparency and accountability. 10. Watergate. Perhaps the most infamous scandal in U.S. history, Watergate began with a break-in at the Democratic National Committee headquarters in 1972 and spiraled into a cover-up that led directly to President Richard Nixon's resignation in 1974. The scandal changed the way Americans viewed their government and laid the foundation for future reforms. 11. Iran-Contra Affair. In the 1980s, President Ronald Reagan's administration secretly sold arms to Iran, hoping to negotiate the release of American hostages. The funds from these sales were then funneled to support rebel groups in Nicaragua. When it was uncovered, the scandal resulted in major investigations, leading to convictions and a lasting blow to Reagan's reputation. 12. The Monica Lewinsky Scandal. Finally, we come to the 1990s and the scandal that forever changed how America viewed its leaders. President Bill Clinton's affair with White House intern Monica Lewinsky became public in 1998, leading to an impeachment trial for perjury and obstruction of justice. Though Clinton was acquitted, the scandal left an indelible mark on the nation's politics and public life. From duels to cover-ups, from unjust internments to political betrayals, these 12 scandals prove that history isn't always as clean as we'd like to think. But they also remind us how far we've come and how far we still have to go. What do you think? Which scandal shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden stories of US history.